Hi, I'm John from Just Whisky. If you like today's show, which I'm pretty sure you're going to, give it a thumbs up. Just get it out of the way. Just give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And as a Patreon, you have access to exclusive Patreon reviews, and we're getting close to 50. I think I'm up to 47, and I try to do one or two a month. So it's my opinion, it's well worth your minimum of $1 a month to have access to almost 50 reviews that the public has not seen. I'm going to take a sip of water right here before I say, remember folks, it's just whiskey. All right. By popular demand over the last few years, actually, this has probably been my most requested video that I haven't done. And it's yet another Talisker rundown, which I've done a few. But this one is probably going to be the most interesting, I think. What we're going to be reviewing is the old Talisker 10, okay, and it's a 200 milliliter bottle, and this came in this sample set, and I believe it was released these were bottled, I believe, in 2014, 2015, but I think this is 2015, and it had the old 10 and the 57 North and the 2014 issued Distiller's edition. So we're going to be basically comparing the old 10 against the Talisker new 10, and to throw in a little caveat, we're going to compare it to the new Talisker 8 Tidal Churn, which interesting is the tube says Tidal Churn, but the bottle label just says Talisker 8-year-old and 2024 special release. Does not say Tidal Churn on there, which is interesting. And then you're saying, John, what's this Glencairn sitting up here with no bottle next to it? We are going to also be comparing it to the 57 North from 2015, which has been long since discontinued. The quick specs on the 57 North, it's 57% ABV, which I believe is the old British 100 proof, and it's non-age stated, and it's refill ex bourbon. I think if I was to guess, by law it has to be at least 3 years old. I'm guessing it's between 3 and 5 or 6. We'll get to that at the end, but I think it's much less than 8-year-old, in my opinion. So that's on the top shelf. I've never reviewed the Talisker 57 North, so that's going to be the caveat. If you stick around to the end, you'll get a little mini review on that, and I'm going to rank all of these. So let's start off with the old Talisker 10, shall we? So the nose, compared to the newer 10, it's beyond its years. There's definitely older than 10 years in here. There's, 10, 12, and maybe even some 14 or 15-year-old casks that were tossed in. That's my guess. But the nose blows away the newer 10. So the nose on the old 10 is rich, and those candied fruits pop out. The strawberry licorice it's really prominent in the 15-year-old and the 18-year-old. That's there. The a berry flavored yogurt, like a strawberry or cherry, fruity cheap yogurt, like the the kids' cheap lunchbox yogurts that you buy on the nose. On the palate, sweet, creamy, fruity, a little bit of mint, a little bit of vegetal peat. The finish is medium, okay, with a pleasant trademark black pepper bite, but it's a subdued black pepper. And then when the glass is completely empty compared to the newer 10, the older 10, when it's completely empty, you're really getting that ashy peat, almost like ashtray ash peat, whereas it's not quite as pronounced in the newer 10-year-old. A little sip of water. The newer 10-year-old. So on the nose, I'm getting less of those fruits. So I'm guessing this 10-year-old, the new one, is probably closer to 10 years old, whereas the older 10, I think, had some either higher quality casks or some more mature liquid in there. That's my guess. But I'm actually on the newer 10. I'm getting some butterscotch, which I am not getting on the older 10. Butterscotch, maybe a little perfume floral note as well. Maybe a bit more spirity, so kind of like the 10 years old is a nice age statement, but it seems young compared to the older 10. On the palate. A little less sweet, a little thinner. I'm actually getting cocoa in here. A little drier, thinner, cocoa. Much less fruits. Finish is more like a medium light finish, and those classic peppery notes aren't quite as pronounced. And also, too, I know it's hard to compare colors, but even when I put it in the Glencairns, the older 10-year-old looks lighter, and the newer 10-year-old has a little bit more of the orangey glow, which leads me to believe that maybe there's a little more coloring in the newer 10. Maybe there was less coloring minimal coloring in the older 10. I'm guessing. All right. Now, we'll talk a little bit about the Talisker 8 Tidal Churn, which I reviewed as well, which is one of my favorite Taliskers. It really is. I really like the rum cast they did also in 2020, which I recently reviewed that. Really enjoyed this. And the Talisker 15-year-old special release, I reviewed that as well. That's in a class all of its own. That's an amazing dram. This Tidal Churn is just something special. It really is. I've already reviewed it. Just trying to, it's just popping. Bing, bang, boom. It's sparkling. It's popping. I really, it's got everything going on here. I really, really love this. What's interesting, though, is palates and perspective vary widely, because Roy from Aquavit recently reviewed this on Dramface, and I know Dramface reviews are anonymous, but I can tell by the way he writes that it's him. I'm pretty sure. And he did buy this and made mention of it in a Thursday Night Aquavit show. And he gave this 8-year-old only a 5 out of 10. He was very disappointed in it. I really enjoy it. I think I gave this a 9 out of 10. If I gave it an 8 out of 10, it deserves a 9 out of 10. Absolutely love this, and I bought multiple backup bottles. All right, another sip of water, and we're going to go to the much acclaimed 57 North, which I've never reviewed before. From 2015, I believe, where it was discontinued after that. So, this has been open for probably a year, and I've just slowly kicked away at it. I'll be honest with you, my first reactions are closer to my reactions now, is that I'm not wowed by it. People talk about this and revere it, and in my opinion, there's not a bad Talisker out there. I'm just trying to put things in perspective here. So the 57 North, discontinued, 57% ABV. It's more of a condensed, compressed, bit spirity, and a bit shy in the nose too. And even water doesn't make it pop, which I played around with that. And maybe a little bit of kerosene, diesel fuel going on in the background with this. All right. It's spirity. It's young. But I guess this is like Talisker in its purest form, in its youngest, most spirity, most vibrant form. I appreciate it. I really do. But I think it needs more time in the cask, which is never going to happen because it's been discontinued for a long time. And every time I've sampled this, it's pretty much, I'm kind of underwhelmed by it, only because I have such incredibly high expectations for it. But yeah, I don't feel a need to go out, and I could buy this and still on online retail, this 57 North, for under 300 euros, which is a lot of money. All right, let's do the recap. I like it, the 57 North, but it's not wowing me now, and it hasn't wowed me in the past. Price-wise, what's cool about Talisker 10-year-old, I can still find it for $50 to $60, whereas this Talisker special release is really the best buy of every year of the entire series. And you can find this between $100 and $110. Well worth it. Okay, ranking wise, here it is. And I'm going to rearrange these and put these from left to right, your left to right. Here we go. So let's get this box out of the way over here. And we don't need this. All right. In first place, this year's Talisker 8 2024 Tidal Churn special release. In second place is the old Talisker 10-year-old. Believe what they say. If you can find this on auction, the older ones, at a reasonable price, buy them. They're freaking great. And number 3 is probably going to be the 57 North, because it is cask strength. You are getting kind of the essence of it. The caveat, it does need more time in the cask, in my opinion. And then coming in last place, but still I absolutely love this, the newer Talisker 10-year-old. So First place, this year's Talisker 8. Second place, the old Talisker 10. Third place, Talisker 57. And fourth place, the newer Talisker 10. And obviously, if I was just to do taking these two special ones out, the older 10, in my opinion, is better quality, more mature than the newer 10. However, I still love the new 10, and it's not price crazy. You can check out my reviews for scores on all of these except for the 57 North, which I'm not going to give a score to. I hope that was helpful. I love Talisker. So give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Consider becoming a Patreon with a link in the description below. And as a Patreon, I think I reviewed an independent bottling of Talisker 12-year-old. I believe that's in the archives. Hats off to you all, and take care, folks. And remember, it's just whiskey. Rusty anchors.